electrifying performances, soulful voices, and the glamour that comes with stardom. Names like Ray Charles, Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, and Smokey Robinson evoke images of talent, charisma, and the spotlight. But behind the music, behind the fame, many of these legends experienced complex and often surprising personal lives. One area that consistently intrigues fans is their marriages. While the public expects stars to marry glamorous partners who match their fame and style, these R&B icons often made choices that defied conventional expectations. The women who married them were not always those that magazines would call beautiful by Hollywood standards, but their stories reveal that love, stability, and personal compatibility often mattered more than appearances. In fact, many of these marriages were marked by drama, struggle, and unexpected twists that shaped the personal and professional lives of these musical geniuses. Today, we will explore 15 R&B legends and the surprising stories of the women who stood beside them, shedding light on relationships that were as complex as the music they created. Let's begin with the story of Ray Charles, one of the greatest pioneers of soul music. Ray Charles completely transformed the landscape of R&B with his ability to blend gospel, jazz, and blues into a sound that was uniquely his own. Blind from childhood, Ray had to navigate life with extraordinary resilience, and his music was both a personal expression and a means to connect with the world. In 1955, Ray married Dela Beatrice Howard Robinson, a woman who, unlike the women frequently associated with show business, was quiet, discreet, and grounded. From the outside, the marriage may have seemed ordinary compared to the whirlwind life of a rising superstar, but it was filled with challenges that tested both of them. Dela's personality and lifestyle were very different from the flamboyant world Ray inhabited. As Ray pursued fame, success, and occasionally destructive behaviors such as womanizing and substance use, Dela's own approach to life began to create friction. Reports suggest she made extravagant purchases and decorated their home lavishly, which, combined with Ray's own financial pressures, created strain. More devastatingly, rumors of infidelity added emotional stress to the marriage. Over time, these factors led to a separation, and their divorce in 1977 required Ray to pay a significant financial settlement, including custody arrangements. Yet, it is important to understand that Ray initially sought stability, sincerity, and a partner who could offer emotional grounding, rather than someone who mirrored the glamour of his career. In many ways, this marriage reflects the tension between personal life and public expectation, a struggle many celebrities face when their private relationships intersect with fame. Next, we have Sam Cooke, a man whose voice is synonymous with elegance, sophistication, and emotional depth. Sam's early success made him a target for media attention, fans, and the pressures of maintaining a public image. In 1958, Sam married Barbara Campbell, a woman from his hometown who represented familiarity and comfort. Unlike Hollywood icons or celebrities' glamorous partners, Barbara led a simpler life. Their marriage, however, was far from perfect. Both partners faced temptations and pressures that challenged the stability of their relationship. Sam, constantly touring and performing, struggled with fidelity, and Barbara reportedly had her own romantic entanglements. The tragic ending of Sam Cooke's life in 1964 added a dramatic and heartbreaking layer to the story. Barbara's choices and personal actions after his death, including remarrying quickly and engaging in complex family dynamics, fueled scandal and public scrutiny. But beneath the sensational headlines, these stories reveal the challenges of blending ordinary life with the extraordinary demands of fame. Sam's intention in marrying Barbara likely stemmed from a desire for emotional connection and stability, yet the pressures of stardom and human imperfections made the marriage highly complicated. Marvin Gaye offers another insight into the complicated intersections of fame, ambition, and marriage. Marvin's music was full of emotion, passion, and intensity, reflecting both his personal joys and inner struggles. In 1963, he married Anna Gordy, the sister of Motown founder Berry Gordy. At first glance, this marriage appeared to be a strategic as well as personal union. Anna, older than Marvin and positioned within the Motown family, brought stability and influence to Marvin's life, but the age difference and power dynamics also introduced tension. Reports suggest that Marvin sought emotional connection and partnership, but the pressures of Motown, personal ambition, and the complex nature of their relationship made the marriage difficult. Financial disagreements, questions about fidelity, and personal struggles led to their eventual divorce in 1977. Marvin's experiences are perhaps most famously reflected in his album Here, My Dear, which serves as both a creative outlet and an emotional chronicle of his marital struggles. The album illustrates how fame, personal ambition, and emotional needs can collide, creating tension even in relationships founded on genuine affection. Marvin's story demonstrates that personal happiness is often complicated by career pressures and public expectations, and that love alone is not always sufficient to sustain a relationship. Then there's Smokey Robinson, whose gentle demeanor and romantic songwriting made him the embodiment of soul's softer side. In 1959, Smokey married Claudette Rogers, a fellow musician in The Miracles. Claudette faced the challenges of balancing her own career and aspirations with the demands of being a superstar's spouse. Media attention often scrutinized her appearance and personal choices, but the deeper challenges lay in navigating the pressures of fame, touring schedules, and personal tragedy. Claudette endured multiple miscarriages and health struggles while supporting Smokey's career. Additionally, financial and lifestyle pressures created further strain on their marriage. Ultimately, after 27 years together, the marriage ended in divorce in 1986, with significant financial settlements. Despite these difficulties, it is clear that Smokey's choice to marry Claudette was rooted in love, shared passion for music, and the hope of building a partnership capable of withstanding the challenges of a life in the public eye. Their story reminds us that love in the spotlight requires immense patience, resilience, and compromise, and that marital challenges are often magnified when fame and creative pressures are involved. Moving on to Miles Davis, the legendary jazz musician whose innovative style reshaped modern music. Miles was both admired and feared for his intense personality and uncompromising artistic vision. In 1981, he married Cicely Tyson, a highly respected actress and social advocate. This marriage initially brought stability and support into Miles's turbulent life, helping him overcome substance abuse and regain focus on his music. However, their relationship eventually became strained due to differences in priorities, financial pressures, and personal expectations. While Cicely played a pivotal role in revitalizing Miles's career, the marriage ended in 1988. Miles's choice to marry Cicely reflected his search for support and redemption, yet even a well-intentioned partnership could not overcome all personal and professional challenges. Their story illustrates the complexities of relationships between two ambitious, high-profile individuals navigating fame, addiction, and career pressures simultaneously. The story of Al Green provides yet another perspective. Al, known for his sensual voice and spiritual journey, married Shirley Kiles in 1977. Their relationship reflected Al's ongoing transformation from a secular music icon to a gospel-influenced artist seeking spiritual grounding. Shirley, though not a public figure, became a significant presence in his life. Conflicts arose over lifestyle choices, financial expectations, and the alignment of values. Ultimately, the marriage ended in 1983 with a substantial financial settlement. Al Green's experience highlights the challenges of reconciling personal growth, spiritual pursuit, and marital harmony, particularly when life in the public eye complicates personal decisions. Finally, for this first part, we have James Brown, the godfather of soul. In 1984, he married Adrienne Rodriguez, a woman who was deeply involved in the chaotic lifestyle surrounding James Brown, including substance abuse and legal troubles. Their marriage was marked by intense conflict, financial challenges, and public scrutiny. Adrienne's choices reflected both personal struggle and the pressures of maintaining a relationship with one of music's most demanding personalities. The marriage ultimately ended in tragedy when Adrienne passed away following health complications. James Brown's search for a partner who could navigate his intense life illustrates the difficulty of sustaining love amidst fame, pressure, and personal challenges. These stories, covering 7 of the 15 R&B legends, highlight recurring themes: the collision of personal life and fame, the challenge of finding stability amidst chaos, and the human need for love, support, and understanding. While the public often judged these marriages superficially, the real lessons lie in understanding the emotional and practical dynamics behind each relationship. Love, compatibility, and personal growth often outweighed appearance, and even the greatest of musical geniuses faced marital trials that tested patience, resilience, and endurance. Continuing our journey through the lives of R&B legends and the surprising stories of their marriages, we now look at the next set of iconic figures. While these artists were celebrated on stage for their talent and charisma, their personal lives often revealed complex challenges and unexpected choices. These stories remind us that fame does not shield anyone from the trials of love, compatibility, and human emotion. Each marriage had its own set of struggles, from financial disagreements to clashes of personality, and in some cases, the demands of fame created pressure that even the strongest partnerships could not withstand. Let's begin with O.J. Simpson, who, while primarily known as an NFL star, had deep cultural ties to R&B music and celebrity circles. O.J.'s marriage to Nicole Brown began in the late 1970s, when he met her at a restaurant where she was working as a young waitress. Nicole's charm and youthful energy quickly drew O.J. in, and the two eventually married. On the surface, the relationship seemed like a classic love story, pairing a rising star with a vibrant partner. However, behind closed doors, the marriage was fraught with challenges. Reports suggest that domestic tension, control issues, and jealousy created a volatile environment. O.J., accustomed to public admiration and influence, struggled with personal insecurities that fueled conflict. Meanwhile, Nicole, as a young woman thrust into the intense world of fame, faced pressure and scrutiny that added to the strain. This marriage highlights how high expectations, personal differences, and public attention can combine to create relationships that are far more complex than they appear from the outside. Tragically, the story of O.J. and Nicole ended in heartbreak, with consequences that shook the world, illustrating the profound effects of unresolved conflict and the dangers of private turmoil becoming public tragedy. Next, we have Gary Coleman, whose rise to fame as a child star in different rent strokes brought him both admiration and personal struggle. As an adult, Coleman sought love and acceptance in ways many of his fans did not expect. In 2007, he married Shannon Price, a woman younger than him, with whom he faced intense media scrutiny. The public often judged the relationship superficially, focusing on appearances rather than the real dynamics at play. In truth, their marriage was deeply troubled, marked by emotional abuse, public conflict, and personal misunderstandings. Shannon reportedly exerted control over aspects of Gary's life, and their legal and financial disagreements became highly publicized. Tragically, these difficulties culminated in the final days of Gary Coleman's life, raising questions about trust, vulnerability, and the consequences of relationships built under intense public attention. Gary's story underscores a broader theme, that the pressures of fame can amplify personal struggles, and that love, when intertwined with public scrutiny, can become complicated and even dangerous. Muhammad Ali, one of the most iconic athletes of all time, also provides a unique perspective on the complexities of marriage in the context of fame and faith. Ali, known for his unmatched talent in boxing and his unwavering dedication to his religious and social beliefs, married Sonji Aoi in 1964. Sonji, a cocktail waitress from Chicago, entered Ali's life at a time when he was rising to global prominence. Their marriage was short-lived, lasting only about 17 months, due to irreconcilable differences in personality, values, and lifestyle. Ali's strict adherence to his faith and personal discipline clashed with Sonji's approach to life, creating tension and conflict. Despite their brief marriage, this chapter in Ali's life demonstrates the challenges of balancing personal beliefs, public expectation, and private relationships, and highlights the difficulty of sustaining love when both partners are undergoing rapid personal and professional growth. Another compelling story is that of Lionel Richie, a pop and R&B superstar whose romantic ballads captured the hearts of millions. Lionel married Brenda Harvey in 1975, a woman he knew from college. Their marriage was initially rooted in shared history and affection, but over time, issues of infidelity and emotional conflict strained the relationship. Brenda's reactions to betrayal, including a highly publicized confrontation with Lionel's later partner, illustrate how unresolved trust issues and personal hurt can escalate dramatically. Their eventual divorce in 1993 involved significant financial settlements, reflecting both the cost of celebrity marriages and the emotional consequences of broken trust. Lionel's story reminds us that even seemingly stable relationships can unravel when external pressures and personal choices collide, highlighting the universal challenges of fidelity, communication, and emotional resilience. Hank Aaron, the legendary baseball player and cultural icon, experienced a marriage that was relatively private but not without tension. He married Barbara Lucas, a woman known for her discretion and supportiveness. While she was considered traditional and dedicated, the marriage faced challenges including disagreements over finances and emotional connection. Barbara reportedly spent considerable sums from Hank's endorsements without full communication, and rumors of infidelity further strained the relationship. Their marriage ended in 1971, a few years before Hank's historic achievement of breaking Babe Ruth's home run record. This story shows that even those with humble, supportive partners can encounter challenges in balancing personal, financial, and public pressures, demonstrating that fame magnifies the consequences of conflict. The story of Eddie Murphy, the legendary comedian and actor, provides another perspective on the intersection of fame and marriage. Eddie married Nicole Mitchell Murphy in 1993, a union that initially seemed stable. However, reports of infidelity and personal conflict ultimately led to their divorce in 2006. The breakdown of their marriage involved legal battles and financial settlements, including significant child support payments. Eddie's experience illustrates how the intense demands of a public career can strain personal relationships, and how trust and compatibility are crucial for sustaining long-term marriages, regardless of wealth or fame. Dennis Rodman, the flamboyant NBA legend, is known as much for his basketball talent as for his eccentric personal life. Rodman married Carmen Electra in 1998, a high-profile union that lasted only 6 months. The marriage was marked by public arguments, legal incidents, and financial disagreements, highlighting the challenges of impulsive decisions in the realm of celebrity. While media outlets focused on appearances and sensationalism, the real story involved conflicting lifestyles, intense public scrutiny, and the difficulty of merging two very public lives into one stable household. Their divorce, finalized in 1999, included financial settlements and remains a case study in how public pressure and personal impulsivity can derail celebrity marriages. Finally, we look at Quincy Jones, one of the most influential producers in modern music. Quincy's private life was marked by multiple marriages, including his union with Ulla Andersson, a Swedish model, in 1967. Balancing a global career with a marriage proved difficult, as long-distance commitments, travel, and professional pressures strained the relationship. Ulla eventually returned to Sweden with their children, highlighting the practical and emotional difficulties of maintaining a family life while pursuing international success. Quincy's experience demonstrates that even extraordinary talent cannot insulate individuals from the challenges of sustaining long-term, emotionally fulfilling relationships when careers demand relentless attention and energy. Through these stories, several key themes emerge. First, celebrity marriages are rarely simple. The combination of fame, financial pressures, public scrutiny, and personal ambition creates unique challenges that ordinary couples rarely face. Second, love alone is rarely sufficient to sustain a marriage. Mutual understanding, communication, and aligned values are essential, especially in high-pressure environments. Third, the public often misinterprets or oversimplifies celebrity relationships, focusing on superficial factors rather than understanding the deeper emotional dynamics at play. Finally, these stories remind us that even the most talented and successful individuals are human, and their relationships reflect universal struggles with trust, compatibility, and personal growth. As we reflect on these tales of fame, love, and human complexity, it becomes clear that the marriages of R&B legends and related celebrities are not just gossip fodder, they are lessons in human relationships under extraordinary circumstances. They remind us that emotional resilience, personal integrity, and communication are essential for sustaining love, regardless of wealth, fame, or public expectation. These stories of triumph, struggle, and heartbreak offer a unique lens into the personal lives behind the music we cherish and the legends we admire. As we reach the final part of our exploration into the personal lives of R&B legends and the complexities of their marriages, it's clear that fame, talent, and public admiration do not shield anyone from the universal challenges of love, commitment, and partnership. While the previous stories revealed struggles with infidelity, financial pressures, and public scrutiny, this final set of narratives emphasizes how personal choices, emotional compatibility, and life circumstances shape relationships, sometimes in unexpected ways. Beyond the scandals and media headlines, these marriages provide insight into the human side of some of the most celebrated figures in music and entertainment. Let's begin with Ray Charles' later relationships, following his divorce from Dela Beatrice Howard Robinson. Ray, having experienced the trials and heartbreak of his first marriage, continued to seek love and companionship, but his personal and professional life made sustaining stable relationships difficult. The challenges Ray faced included balancing his demanding career, touring schedules, and personal struggles with substance use. Later relationships revealed his deep desire for emotional connection and stability, but also the difficulties of trust and compatibility, demonstrating that even a musical genius had to navigate the universal complexities of human relationships. These later experiences reflected his growth, resilience, and ongoing search for balance between love and personal freedom. Sam Cooke's story, though tragically cut short by his untimely death in 1964, provides another lens into the pressures that fame places on personal relationships. Sam's choice to marry Barbara Campbell was likely rooted in his desire for stability and familiarity, yet the dynamics of touring, fame, and public expectations placed immense stress on their partnership. The scandal and controversy that followed his death highlighted the fragility of celebrity relationships and the consequences of unresolved tension, miscommunication, and personal struggles. Sam's story serves as a reminder that the emotional complexities of love do not diminish even under the brightest spotlight. Marvin Gaye, often called the Prince of Soul, exemplifies the intertwining of personal ambition, fame, and marital strain. His marriage to Anna Gordy began with promise, blending personal affection with strategic alignment within Motown. However, the pressures of his career, family dynamics, and personal insecurities created a web of challenges that ultimately led to separation. Marvin's experience illustrates how even the most talented individuals must navigate the delicate balance between public success and private happiness. His music often reflected these struggles, serving as both a creative outlet and a testimony to the emotional complexities of his personal life. Moving to Smokey Robinson, his long marriage to Claudette Rogers highlights the sacrifices required in balancing personal aspirations with marital responsibilities. Claudette's personal tragedies, including multiple miscarriages and the emotional toll of supporting a high-profile spouse, created tension that ultimately led to the marriage's end. The story reflects the profound impact of emotional strain, loss, and the challenges of aligning personal needs with professional demands. Smokey's dedication to music and performance often clashed with the realities of family life, illustrating how fame can magnify personal struggles and complicate even the strongest emotional bonds. Miles Davis' marriage to Cicely Tyson demonstrates the complexity of relationships between two highly ambitious and successful individuals. Initially a source of support and stability, their marriage eventually faced difficulties arising from differences in priorities, financial pressures, and personal expectations. The end of their union in 1988 underscores a recurring theme in celebrity relationships: the difficulty of maintaining emotional connection when both partners are navigating demanding careers and intense public scrutiny. Miles' story reminds us that emotional compatibility and mutual understanding are crucial for sustaining long-term relationships, even among those with immense talent and resources. Al Green, having transitioned from secular fame to spiritual devotion, sought peace and stability in his marriage to Shirley Kiles. While their union initially offered companionship and support, differences in values, lifestyle expectations, and financial pressures led to conflict and eventual divorce. Al's journey highlights how personal transformation and life changes can impact relationships, emphasizing the importance of shared values and understanding in sustaining emotional bonds. His story illustrates that even deeply spiritual individuals face challenges in balancing personal growth with marital harmony. James Brown and Adrienne Rodriguez experienced a marriage marked by intense conflict, substance abuse, and public scrutiny. Their relationship, filled with emotional and financial challenges, ended tragically with Adrienne's death. James Brown's search for a partner capable of navigating his demanding lifestyle demonstrates the challenges of finding stability amidst chaos. This story reinforces the theme that love and compatibility require not only emotional connection but also the ability to manage life's pressures together. Finally, Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra, along with Quincy Jones and Ulla Anderson, illustrate the impact of impulsive decisions, conflicting priorities, and long-distance or high-pressure careers on marital stability. Dennis and Carmen's 6-month marriage was fraught with public conflict, legal issues, and lifestyle clashes, while Quincy's marriage to Ulla faced strain due to global career demands and long absences. Both stories reflect how fame and professional ambition can complicate relationships, even when the initial intentions are genuine. These examples further underscore that communication, trust, and shared life goals are essential for sustaining love, regardless of wealth or public status. Having explored these 15 relationships, several lessons emerge. First, celebrity marriages, like all marriages, require trust, communication, and mutual respect. Fame amplifies these requirements but does not replace them. Second, personal growth and life changes impact relationships significantly. As artists evolve, their needs, priorities, and values may shift, and partners must navigate these changes carefully. Third, external pressures, including financial strain, public scrutiny, and career demands, can magnify personal conflicts, turning manageable disagreements into major crises. Finally, these stories reveal that love and compatibility often outweigh superficial considerations. While the public may judge appearances, the underlying emotional dynamics are far more significant in determining the success or failure of a marriage. In reflecting on these stories, it becomes evident that fame, talent, and wealth do not guarantee marital happiness. Relationships require continuous effort, mutual understanding, and adaptability. The challenges faced by these legends serve as a reminder that emotional connection, personal integrity, and shared values are the foundation of lasting love. Beyond the scandal, drama, and public intrigue, these narratives humanize the lives of extraordinary individuals, showing that even those who captivate millions with their artistry face the same trials and triumphs of love as anyone else. In conclusion, the marriages of R&B legends and their contemporaries offer profound insights into the interplay between personal life, fame, and human emotion. They remind us that relationships are complex, multifaceted, and deeply personal. While the public often focuses on appearances, finances, or sensational headlines, the true measure of a marriage lies in the emotional bonds, mutual support, and resilience of the individuals involved. These stories of love, struggle, and perseverance reveal that even in a world of glamour and spotlight, the human experience of relationships remains universal, challenging, and profoundly meaningful. By studying the marriages of these 15 legends, we gain not only a deeper appreciation for their personal lives but also a greater understanding of the universal truths of love, commitment, and emotional resilience. Whether celebrated or controversial, their experiences offer valuable lessons for anyone navigating the complexities of relationships, reminding us that empathy, patience, and understanding are essential, no matter one's status or success.